Hello everyone, and welcome to part 2 of the Godzilla Minus One project, where today one could say we're turning this project into more than just a skeleton today. So during this YouTube video today, we'll be working on the Godzilla Minus One project, I do say. But before we get too carried away with the plasticine clay, there's a few finishing details we need to do on this skeleton, you might say. Which is step 1, which has already begun, which is the painting fun. And then once that's done, there's a few other small parts to make, which will assist him in making some earthquakes. Because Godzilla is known for making the earth shake beneath his massive weight. So once those details are out of the way, we'll be adding massive amounts of plasticine clay. Now, one could say I'm pretty sure this Godzilla weighs at least a few pounds now today. But as I sculpt away, we'll be learning some fun facts about Godzilla Minus One today. Godzilla Minus One released its official trailer not too long ago, and the question on everyone's minds is, well, why is it called Godzilla Minus One? It is a widely held belief that the colossal behemoth known as Godzilla, emerging from the depths of the sea in Hiroshi Honda's seminal 1954 cinematic masterpiece, serves a profound embodiment of Japan's post-war trauma. An intricate allegory echoing the haunting reverberations of nuclear specters that have descended upon Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Or perhaps a symbolic representation of a vengeful and destructive USA. Since those fateful days, the reptilian entity has assumed a myriad of forms, some displaying benevolence while others showing malevolence. However, the inextricable ties binding Godzilla to Japan's darkest epoch has seldom been as palpable as they are in Godzilla Minus One, the forthcoming cinematic opus from Toho, posed to grace US theaters on the first day of December. The most recent trailer for the cinematic tour de force lays bare this poignant connection. Godzilla Minus One unfolds in the backdrop of the late 1940s, portrays the creature's rampage within a nation already humbled by the howling specters of World War II defeat. Toho, in a press release explicating the film's title, conveys this stark message. After the war, Japan's economic state has been reduced to zero. Godzilla appears and plunges the country into a negative state. As if this wasn't laden enough with post-war melancholy, the trailer masterfully juxtaposes scenes of Godzilla inflicting destruction, with haunting imagery of nuclear detonations, lifeless soldiers strewn across battlefields, and a woman's anguished cry directed at a uniformed man, screaming, "You're a disgrace." One character's somber declaration adds depth to the narrative, stating, "That monster will never forgive us." If Shin Godzilla sought to satirize Japanese politics while reshaping Godzilla in the contents of the 2011 tsunami and the Fukushima nuclear catastrophe, then Godzilla Minus One is unmistakably returning the iconic titan to its original meaning. Yet, both these cinematic endeavors share a common aspiration: to rekindle the primal terror that has always defined this colossal creature. So what does the Minus One mean in Godzilla Minus One? The "monster will never forgive us" line is a perfect example of a potential double meaning. However, if we take Toho's press release statement, as Godzilla emerges, casting the nation into an abyss of negativity, as the sole explanation, that would be nearly it. And yet, we have rumors and rumblings that there are indeed two Godzillas in fact in this film. One is rumored and rumored to be a orca-shaped titan monster, and there are other rumors and rumblings and leaks that state there was a Godzilla that hasn't gone through the mutation of nuclear testing, and thus wasn't as armored and destroyed. So Godzilla Minus One could literally mean Godzilla minus another Godzilla. Now, I know that sounds simplistic and almost laughable in that context, but when viewed through the lens of Godzilla having a mate, a family member, Or potentially the only other of its kind, lost, murdered, destroyed. In potentially nuclear warfare, which adds another layer of meaning and sadness to the name Godzilla Minus One. Godzilla Minus One is the magnum opus written and directed by visionary Takashi Yamazaki. It marks Toho's 33rd foray into the realm of Godzilla, and represents the studio's triumphant return into live action, after the renounding success of Shin Godzilla. An intricately woven deal with legendary pictures, the studio behind American MonsterVerse Godzilla films precludes Toho from releasing a live-action masterpiece the same year as Legendary. Given this constraint, the silver lining for aficionados is that Toho is thus motivated to grace the USA with the presence of Minus One this year, prior to Legendary releasing Godzilla vs. X Kong, The New Empire, next year, 2024. And I do believe Toho were very smart with their deal with Legendary. Have Legendary nurture and foster a wide narrative and appeal for the Godzilla franchise. When Toho comes in and releases his version of Godzilla, the true version of Godzilla, one could say. One should say because it's not far from the original version at all. Looking at the trailer, which I did a review on last week, during part 1 of this project, so if you haven't seen that, be sure to go check it out. Link is available in the post description. Anyway, apart from my shameless plug, the trailer was definitely beautifully haunting, with incredible imagery and true physics, where Godzilla stomps and storms around where there's very real weight. And one thing as a side note that I find absolutely astounding, Takashi Yamazaki is a VFX artist, writer, and director for this film. The VFX of Godzilla Minus One, at least per trailer, are, well, truly incredible. Definitely a thing of beauty and horror, one could say. So that concludes our section on this video as to why it is called Godzilla Minus One. Unfortunately, we're not exactly left with a definitive answer, so to speak, yet. We'll have to wait and see the film at this particular point, but let me know what you think it is in the comments below. Did you know there were rumors and rumblings of another creature? Does it add another layer of sadness and melancholy to the film? It also might answer some questions as to why Godzilla is on such a rampage during that trailer. But it's hard to say what exactly is going through that monster's mind in that trailer, one could say. Either way, I'm definitely excited to see it, you could say. Now, in my honest opinion, I'm pretty sure it's probably going to basically be a modernized version of the 1954 Godzilla film, which I'm basing more off, well, the press release, because that's generally probably a more reliable source than, say, a social media post from one that might be slightly questionable for the other theory. Now, I'm definitely not against it, because, well, let's be honest here, a Godzilla fight of that magnitude would definitely be very, very cool to see, and, well, I don't think I would have any complaints about having, you know, that in the film. And personally, it could give it a, well, interesting narrative that we may have never actually seen in a Godzilla film. Now, I must admit to my regular viewers here, I'm kind of maybe a little rusty on some of these Godzilla films. I honestly haven't seen too many for a very, very long time. So here's your kind of opportunity to educate me on Godzilla. If you have any interesting facts, please let me know in the comments below, or have any suggestions on movies I should be watching for Godzillas in particular for inspiration. Yeah, there's a lot from what I've learned, and I have been picking away at a few, but it would be nice to have some, well, direct, you know, suggestions from my audience who are very avid about this monster, apparently. And it doesn't necessarily just have to be about Godzilla. It could be about any of the following monsters, well, from that franchise. Because, well, I'll be honest, Godzilla is probably the only one I really know anything about, unfortunately. And I didn't really want to do 2 Godzillas in a row for a monster project, but unfortunately, I was working late one night on my YouTube channel, and, well, within 2 hours of its release, I saw the Godzilla Minus One trailer, so I was like, okay, algorithm, I am listening. I should probably also admit that, yeah, upon viewing Godzilla Minus One, even though he hasn't actually been in an official movie yet, I was like, wow, I love this design, so he's probably easily one of my favorite Godzilla designs out there. Apart from the 1954, which I do love, don't get me wrong, mainly because it's the original, but there are some scenes in that particular movie or suit that it looks just a little bit janky or a little bit derpy, to put it politely. Especially the puppet. The puppet did not do it justice. But yeah, he's definitely probably my favorite Godzilla just because he is technically the original. Although I do honestly quite like the 2019 MonsterVerse one as well. That one is definitely very cool, although I understand that some of my, well, regular followers here aren't a huge fan of that guy in particular, but I personally think the design is still pretty cool, irregardless of it being obviously a little bit, well, drawn away from, say, the original, but it still looks cool in my opinion, so whatever. And I would have to say at least number 4 and number 3 gotta go to Shin, because wow, he was pretty cool and a very different take on Godzilla, and I must, well, admit that I really appreciated that film as well. Because it kind of went back to its original roots, and I think it did very well on that fact alone, and not to mention, just the overall design of Godzilla was kind of creepy and almost off-putting, but I loved it. And I gotta give a shout out to the Heisei Godzilla as well, because that's kind of, well, the last mark of the Suitmation era, and honestly, the design for that one looks very cool, and is kind of what, personally, the, you know, a take on the original Godzilla mixed with a bit of modern, you know, looks should look like, in my opinion. And I would definitely like to make that one someday, because it's apparently rumored to be one of the strongest Godzillas out of them all. Anyway, that's kind of my list of favorite Godzillas. Let me know what your favorite Godzilla is in the comments below. And one more thing I should probably brief over before we get into the build rundown of this video. I won't be doing test animations with this Godzilla immediately after completion like the last one. I'm sorry if that disappoints any of you. I will be doing animations with him shortly after though. Basically, Halloween's coming and I have another animation project idea I would like to work on. I was going through my analytics recently, and one thing I noticed, and I probably should mention briefly, is about 1.8% of you are, well, actually watching that are subscribed. So be sure you have your post notifications turned on if you haven't, because YouTube is apparently not really putting this stuff out, unfortunately. So, I digress. I noticed my Argentinosaurus zombie dinosaur has, well, recently gone up in views quite a lot. So, I will probably be doing some test animations or bringing that guy to life for, well, Halloween's sake, because, well, what more appropriate time to bring a zombie dinosaur to life than, well, October, right? Because, honestly, I've wanted to bring that thing to life for quite some time now, because I've wanted to see a 3D rendition of, well, that dinosaur, because I think it would be very cool. Anyway, it's time for the build rundown. First thing I would like to say on the build rundown today, for those of you who like to say there is a lack of clay, well, this Godzilla is really putting my lazy Susan to the test today. Because it is bending under his weight, you could say. So I think my build rundown section's gonna need to upgrade soon, you could say. But that's okay, it makes my Godzilla more accurate, you could say. But the things accomplished today on this project, you might say. Nearly all the painting and sculpting is done now, I do say. Some of you may say this Godzilla is nearly finished today. But to that I say there's still a lot of detail work to do to bring this Godzilla to life for all of you. So once all the detail is done, that's when this Godzilla shall be done. But that'll be next week, so be sure to stay tuned because I do daily shorts, and well, that way you can stay updated on the project. Anyway, be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the content, comment below what you think, share with your friends, and be sure to subscribe if you're new. Anyway, that's all from me. Till next time, take it easy.